Jason, how do we account for dormers in RoofSnap?
Yeah, when sketching the roof, dormers can present a little bit of a problem because of their overhangs and because they represent, some floating roof space over top of attic space that kind of, yeah, why don't I show you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, so we've got this roof here, and you can see there's a giant dormer on the front.
Yes.
We picked a good one here to make it really easy to show you how it is, and I've drawn in some of the lines already. We've got the larger slope all the way around, and I've put in the eaves and the rakes of this dormer, and I'll go ahead and finish it up here. So let's come to the middle of the two rakes where they split.
Okay.
Bring the ridge up, and I'm not going to connect it all the way to the main ridge. I think it probably comes just a little bit shy. We could connect it. We don't have to either way.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring the other valley down, and if I zoom in on this a bit, I can come into the draw mode and I can hold on that and I can just drag that up where it's right dead center, and I'm going to come back out. Now, in order for dormers to be calculated accurately, we will have to label the lines before we flip over and view it in facets mode. Now this dormer, we're going to make an assumption here with 90 mode turned on that it has about a 1 foot overhang.
Okay.
So I'm going to come over from the bottom of the valley 1 foot, and then I'm going to come down. I'm not going to come all the way to the end because there's probably a foot here, so I'm going to come back up to 6.8, come over a foot. I'm sorry, come over to 20.3 and come back a foot to 19.3, and then come up and then connect here on this side as well.
Perfect.
Now, if we flip to facets now, which I'll show you, we're going to see a lot of facets. We've got that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. We've got way too many facets.
Right.
So the good thing about RoofSnap is it has some logic that once we go in and begin to label these lines, it's going to determine which facets are real and which ones are not real.
Okay.
So let's go ahead into edges mode and label up the eaves. We're going to label the valleys. Grab the ridge in the middle, rakes on the front, left and right as well. Might as well get them while we're here. And then come back, we've got a step on the left and the right, and wall across the front. To get these two tiny lines, I'm going to make it easy on myself and just zoom in. Label that one as a wall, go to pan and zoom, come over to the other side, go back to edges, and label that one as a wall as well. Now we'll zoom back out and view the whole dormer again. When we flip over to facets, we're now just dealing with 3 facets plus the 4th one, which is the large facet around the outside.
Gotcha.
Now, Katrina, what is the pitch value of this large facet that surrounds the dormer?
I'm not for sure.
I'm not either, but let's call it a 612.
That sounds good.
So that large pitch of the roof slope around the dormer is a 612.
Okay.
This one here in the middle that I'm turning off and on for the sake of the shading so you can see it, is the cutout. It is the negative space.
Gotcha.
It helps our step walls know how long they are. And our step walls will grow based on the pitch of that cutout.
Gotcha.
So we are going to go ahead and put the 612 pitch on that middle section because it will make our step walls grow.
Because the app is going to calculate those step walls
based on that pitch value.
Based on the slope. Got
exactly.
it.
And then we're going to label that middle section as dormer. That is going to subtract out that middle space, kind of do a little cutout so we're not getting extra surface area below. All we care about is the right side, the left side, and the main section of the roof.
Gotcha.
We can see we've got double shading here that accounts for the overhangs. We've got this dark, almost black color here in the middle that lets us know we have cut out the dormer. Perfect. And the only other thing we would need would be pitch on the left and the right side. So let's say they're 8/12s.
All right.
All right.
Wonderful.
Now there's another dormer on this roof. It's a low slope. Well, technically it may not be that low. It does have shingles on it, but many times you'll see dormers like this with some membrane or foot elastic or some other low slope roofing product.
Gotcha.
Let's assume that it does have a low slope roofing product on it.
Okay.
So we've got the pitch change drawn in already. We'll come down and just draw this thing out. And with regard to the step walls, we're going to assume a 1 foot overhang as well. So we'll come to 3/8 and up, and I'm going to connect that there. And then we'll come to the left side and we'll do the same thing. We come to the line 13.1. We don't want to stop there. We want to come a foot past to 14.1.
Okay.
Come up. 90 mode is going to line us up there.
Great.
And now we have that section drawn in. So we can go ahead and flip over to facets and see what we have here.
Great. So we've got the double shading where the overhangs are. We've got the lower sloped dormer section differentiated from the rest of the predominant slope there.
Yep, and we just have to make one final adjustment after we label the lines. The reason you have to label the lines first is for accuracy here, you do want to label first and then reposition the line so that you don't have to try to tap on little short lines that you can no longer access when they're so close to another line. You know what I mean?
I do.
So when I come here, after I label these two as step, I'm going to zoom in again. I've got two little wall lines, so I'm going to label that one as a wall. And I'm going to come over to this side and label that one as a wall. Then I'm going to go back to draw mode, put my cursor on here, let it sit for about a second. It's going to pick it up and just slide that guy right down on top of the pitch change.
All right.
Come over to this side and I'm just going to do the exact same thing. Now if you are using the web app, you can actually use 90 mode when you're repositioning these lines, which does make it really convenient. But here in RoofSnap on an iPad, when you are repositioning, 90 mode gets turned off. So that you can fine tune and really put it precisely where you want. You can always just turn 90 mode back on once you're done repositioning your lines.
And luckily those cursor tails are there to help you out and make sure those are nice and straight even when you're repositioning.
Absolutely. So if I want to finish this roof drawing, I can label everything else up. I've got two rakes and a little bit of flashing to do, so I'm going to come over and up and over and up and back. And connect.
Got it.
Yep. And when you have little things like this, you can just use the repositioning to bring it right back out and square everything up. Nice straight drawings are really the goal here in RoofSnap. Now, I won't bother with finishing labeling up all those lines. I just wanted to draw in that last section there so that you can see when we do go back into facets, we're seeing all of the appropriate double shading that we need. We even have a section here in the middle where there are actually 3 layers of roofing that overlap. You even have darker shading with that third layer inside that tiny little square there.
Wonderful. And you had mentioned previously we're going to kind of pretend that little lower slope section has a different material on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it's not shingles, put the LS, low slope label on the roof. With regard to pitch, let's just assume that it's a 212. So we'll go ahead and put the 212 pitch value on it with LS, and then we can grab 612 for that and 412 for the very rear.
Wonderful.
And that's how it's going to look when you have drawn in your overhangs and your dormers correctly.
Awesome. Thanks for showing us, Jason.
No problem.